We're
You're
good.
gonna take that out, right?
Are we online? How's it going, everyone?
I didn't even check audio yet. Is it recording?
Yeah, it's good.
We got the adventuring crew. John's gone down.
My new ride?
Let's go.
We are Advntr Squad -1. Ethan's not here because he's a little bitch baby.
College boys.
Goddamn.
College boys.
And we wanted to get together. Blake is here. I don't know if anyone out there actually knows this. We don't really talk about it. But Blake doesn't live here in Colorado anymore. He actually lives out in Texas.
Kill me.
It's rare that we get to do videos with him, but it's nice when we do.
Yeah, I come in town just to do it.
Just to do this.
That's a lie.
Exactly. So, he's here, and we thought it'd be a great occasion, come to the end of 2019 and the end of the 20-teens decade, to just reflect on things that have happened since the beginning of the decade up till now, past videos and just history of how we got to where we are. So, we're going to do that.
Yep, so I think an exciting way to start off the podcast would be to discuss all of the times where our adventures got us in legitimate trouble or danger.
It's a good
or
place.
Yeah.
Trouble or
anything.
danger is a good place because we haven't gotten in that much trouble.
Well,
But we have gotten in quite a bit of
I feel
danger.
like the danger has been there for most of them, but the actual trouble is a bit more rare.
Well, I mean, let's set apart, because there's danger, and then there's like danger that we're playing up for the camera, and then there's like when we're in actual real danger.
Yeah, I feel like probably the most dangerous parts of any of our adventures when we're driving. Insert the clip of John saying "fuck."
I'm gonna pass this fucker so hard. We're gonna fucking die.
Oh, but that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it, coming down from the mine shaft on Memorial Day weekend, 2017, right? And you're going over these turns, and you go around this bend, and there's a truck on the other end of the bend that you didn't see, totally hogging the road. But
Yeah,
regardless,
like,
we were not prepared
I
at all.
wish
Some
we had
asshole
footage
raptor
of
just,
around the
rolled
corner.
We totally do.
Wait,
There's totally a clip of that.
No, we
it's on
don't.
Levi's
Yeah,
channel.
it's on. I mean,
Yeah, we do.
I edited that.
He made it a meme.
Oh,
He
did he?
made it like the snake meme. Yeah,
I also
I'll
I added more shake to that and then sped it up a little bit.
You shouldn't do that with your iMovie.
I did that in
crap.
iMovie.
You should have
Oh my
just
God.
cut it off right when the truck came into frame. We were like, ah!
He did do that.
Well, no, I cut it off right when we're driving towards the wall. It looks like we're about to crash, but if you pause it at the right frame, you can see John and I smiling in the rearview mirror.
Well, because it was a gravel road on this mountain, and
No guardrails.
no guardrails, and it's just a drop.
What
off
is
of
what is
one
the name of
side.
that road, John?
It's
Don't
called
say it.
Oh My God Road.
Oh my god.
And it's a sheer kind of cliff on one side and a bunch of trees where if you go off of that side, you get impaled, which is fun. And then on the other side is a cliff. And, you're cruising. I wanted to show off my driving skills.
Show
So-
off
And
your
you can
driving
hear
skills.
Josh in the back going, John, slow down.
Oh, Josh and I were the ones in the back freaking
I'm
out.
100% owning the Karen archetype for that.
I was making Josh nervous.
I don't care if you're comfortable. I don't care if you're in control. I want you to slow down.
I was the silent dad holding the oh shit angle.
Yeah.
Dude, I also just grew up with a very
I'm hearing a
unwarranted
personal
fear.
story about to start.
I grew up just with a very unwarranted fear of just roads that don't have guardrails. So it started with me and Luke when we would go up camping at his trailer that was way up in the mountains. There was a road that it was basically mountain road. There's kind of nothing in the middle except this ramp sort of thing, like a I don't know, triangle sort of shape of just mound of gravel and dirt, and the road is just all there is. So either side is just a fall. And there's no trees, no nothing, it's just sheer nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So that I rode in the back of Luke's dad's pickup truck on that road, and I'm pretty sure that is the root of that fear. So anytime, like on a mountain road, whether I'm
Is
driving
this a
or not.
knockoff Adventure Squad?
It is.
Oh, what?
Sorry, we're looking at.
I'm watching Levi's glasses for the reflection.
So, I'm trying to find some old Adventure Squad videos, and
Found knockoff
We don't-
Adventure
Well, the
Squad.
Advntr Squad playlist actually has everything all the way back to Testosterone.
yeah. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So
These
this
guys
guy has a compilation of different images in his profile picture.
This looks pretty cool though.
Yeah, but except see this one?
Hold on, we
That's
can't
actually-
advertise an adventure brand that's cooler than
Oh,
ours.
we absolutely-
It's not. Don't worry.
56 subscribe. They've got repelling.
And if
on
we're
it,
shitting on him, it
That's
goes
mine.
on my channel.
Let's-
Remember
wait,
that.
What's yours?
This is mine. He took one of my images and put it.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, he.
Yo, hold on. What?
You
Oh.
can see that one. The one of the guy rappelling. Did you remember the one that we had
I'm coming over too.
that we designed?
Oh yeah.
He just took
Oh, is he actually?
a circle.
Are
of
we
it.
popular enough for people to rip us off?
Apparently. Was that
Alright, get
a
back here.
was that an original picture that you took?
Maybe
Or
I
was
want to
it-
be over at that camera, Josh.
No, but it's the
the
design of the logo. It's the orange. It's the orange and yellow gradient circle with a black silhouette of someone climbing.
Well, not just that either. It was the cliff, the dude doing a backflip off of it on a bike,
Is that all in
the
there?
guy climbing. He just took a small section out of it and then used it as part of
zoom
his.
No way.
Yeah.
That's so
But
funny.
you- but you
I
can't-
can't
can
believe
you-
you found that.
You can't
zoom
copyright
in on
claim
this?
though.
No, because
Username or
I never.
profile photos.
Well, because I designed that logo on Adobe Illustrator with like, I used a picture of you and I traced it.
I don't know, dude.
Or
It looks similar, but
I think it might just be similar but not quite the same. I don't know. But I don't want to go too much into that. That's not really why we're here. But that is funny.
okay, so we're not cool enough.
I don't think we're cool enough.
Send
That,
me,
that gives me
uh,
actually a lot of
Send me
peace
the link.
inside.
Maybe I'll do a roasting of.
Yes, please do a part 2 of like
No, it's
the
not.
No, it's
the
not
quality trash archetype where
John,
you're just
come
roasting
on.
channels
Bring it
like
up.
ours.
outrage for nothing.
It's not ours.
Anyway, 20 teens. What a weird and awesome decade it has been, guys. Like, we have done, I think, so much more than we realize. Most of us were, what, 10 or 11 years old in 2010?
When we started?
No, like, just in 2010 when the decade started. And yeah, when we started doing YouTube, too.
Yeah.
I know I was probably, like, 10 years old when I started. Maybe even 11. I'm somewhere between there.
Mm-hmm. And ironically, we had a channel called Testosterone.
But that was we were like maybe 13 or 14 when we started that channel. That channel still exists. You
Dude,
can
I was
totally
super
look
salty
that up.
when you guys didn't include me in that.
Were we? So what was? I actually wonder why you weren't there, because at that point me and you were still hanging out
Yeah,
and we were still making Nerf videos.
It wasn't
Like,
until
we all met each other at that point.
Have we?
Pretty sure.
No, because the Testosterone videos did come before the cave video, which was the first like real adventure video that me, John, and Ethan did together, and that was before you had gotten involved in that really at all.
What about the?
If you go to the Advntr Squad playlist, and that is a literal timeline, I've made sure that it is actually chronological from bottom to top, so you can see the order of everything on that playlist.
Yeah, go to Josh's channel.
You can go to any of our channels; it's on all of
Yeah.
them.
No, that's right.
I know I hadn't started with Advntr Squad until May of 2017.
Yeah, Memorial Day weekend
The
was the
Mineshaft.
Yeah. It was, Mineshaft. Was it Memorial Day weekend?
yeah, that was more. I remember because I had somewhere to be.
It was like the
And
first
we had to
weekend.
cut that day short
remember
because
that.
I had to be somewhere.
It was
then
like
you
the
were
first
late anyway,
weekend.
and I was still late.
Yeah, it was like the first weekend of summer break.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And we went. I mean, John, did you just like? When did you even call us up and say?
That morning.
Was it
It
that
was
morning?
literally that morning.
That's
He's
why.
like-
Yeah, I think that's why it ended up being like so. But it's still for something that. What did we spend up there? 5 hours.
Dude, we got
Maybe.
so sidetracked. We said we're gonna start with how we've gotten in trouble and the danger we've gotten in, and we've literally.
Well, we've almost brought it full circle because we're now talking about the mine shaft.
Yeah.
Which is where that.
Okay,
It's
so
a-
the mine
yeah.
shaft. That's what we call legit danger. 'Cause
Yes,
that was
especially
that was
descending into it.
stupid. That was
Um,
a stupid thing. to
Yeah.
do.
Anyone watching our videos and wishing to emulate them, please don't. And if you do, do it for your own reasons and don't mention our names, because that is absolutely one of if not the dumbest things we've done.
Yeah. So like, here's the thing. There are lots of videos on YouTube of people going into old mine shafts and such. There's
Sure.
some really cool ones that I love to watch. But most of those people have at least some sort of training and gear, and someone knows where they are, presumably.
We were 17-year-olds.
We literally
You're
just went
like,
down there.
Fuck you, mom. And
We're just like, we just went down and had no idea what was down there.
Speak for yourself. I'm the one that bitched out like a bitch.
Fair.
But that said, I don't think I consider that as high of a level of danger as when John legitimately got lost in a cave. Like,
Yeah.
not playing it up for the camera, because it was legitimately like you were lost in that cave
I mean,
during the Fulton and Flog one.
to a degree. Like, I had a map. I wasn't like.
But you didn't know how to read the map because you thought you were on one side of the cave when you were on the totally opposite side of the cave.
That happened the second
Fair.
time we went in there too. 'Cause,
That's what I'm talking about. The first time you just went in by yourself, but I have a feeling you knew where you were. I don't know, maybe. When you went down into the Devil's Butt Crack, all by yourself.
That was sketchy. That was like.
That was also very legitimate danger.
Well, yeah, because there's like this ledge, and then there's the Devil's Butt Crack, which is like like a foot, maybe a foot and a half wide section of this super long crack, the super deep crack, and it goes all the way to the surface, and then like it drops off of this ledge that you actually enter the butt crack, and it goes down probably 30 feet.
Yeah. And
Is
there's
that, is that where the rope is? Or that's a different
No.
spot?
And
No,
I mean,
that's
it's,
deeper.
It's,
No, that's
it's not even the fact that sheer drop is such a just a intimate danger in and of itself, but it's the way you were sitting and the way you were filming, because you were using your knees on one side of the wall and your back on the other side of the wall and pushing yourself to almost like to keep yourself held up with your knee and your
Just
back.
chimney climbing that shit.
Yeah.
And then chimney climbing, but like two walls that's like that was a good length. How long like are you inching left to right through that crack?
I would say it's probably a good 30, 40 feet.
Like across? Like I'm talking from the one side to the other.
Yeah, to where you get on actual ground again.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah, 30 feet.
yeah.
So you're not just chimney climbing up, you're shimmying to the left 30
Sideways.
feet using your feet or your legs and your back as your
Yeah.
only support.
Yeah.
And filming it
What an absolute unit.
while still managing to keep the map handy.
Yes. So I had my map in one hand.
Okay, hold on. I'm curious now. Where did you ever find that map in the first place? Like, how did you know the cave was there?
So
I never got the lore behind this.
Yeah, way back in the day, I forget exactly when, but it was like 20-ish years ago, I think. Some students from School of Mines here in Colorado decided to, I think it was a local attraction that they went to and, did stuff at. And so I think they
Very
actually
astute.
mapped it out, and that got entered or submitted into a book with a bunch of maps of caves in it.
Okay.
So it says credit to the School of Mine, spelunking group or whatever.
And that's why it's a little bit outdated.
Well, yeah, because it's a fault cave too, which adds another element of kind of danger to it. So the caves were essentially created by just rocks falling down on top of rocks. So
Well, fault implies like tectonic plate fault, like shifting and moving, and
yes,
so that's what created the caves, right?
and that's one theory.
Okay.
And so there's all these rocks basically piled on top, right? If you take a bunch of boulders or small rocks and you pile them on top of each other, there's space in between. And that's what they call the fault caves because of the shape of the rocks and the position. It just so happened to create kind of this route, but obviously it shifts over time as things settle and erosion happens. So, it's not necessarily stable. It's not necessarily unstable, but it does add that extra risk factor.
But it does beg the question, where's that book?
I got the book from my dad because I told him I was looking for caves to go explore. And he said, hey, check this out. I have this book.
So we can probably fault this entire Advntr Squad excursion on your dad, can't we?
No, forget about that. Where is the book now?
That is a better question. Where is that book, John?
The book is in my dad's possession still.
Would he at least be willing to photocopy? Because we've been looking for another cave to go to for the longest time.
Mallory
Yeah.
Cave was a huge disappointment when that was closed off.
Do you think it's open now?
It's hard to say.
Because it said it was supposed to be open and then it wasn't.
I mean,
so.
Is there a site you can just pull that up on? And
Well, the
it's-
site said it was open.
Yeah, they said it, but I mean, remember how it was all iced over? So they probably closed it off before the storm
I didn't
that
get to
time.
see it.
Well, it was closed because of the bats.
Well, it was
So that
supposed to be
seemed-
open that time of year, though.
Right, it was.
It's-
but the
it's-
sign specifically
Oh,
said.
he's saying
It's closed
that,
during the summer for
that they didn't get a chance to open it because remember what we had to climb
that
through.
makes more sense.
Oh yeah, so they didn't even get to switch the signs out. That
No, I bet.
No, they didn't even get to go up there and open it for public viewing because no one could get up there. We could barely get up there.
Yeah.
It took us 2 hours, 3 hours?
Well, most of that was just us pissing around at the bottom, but
Right.
if we had applied ourselves, it would have
We
taken
can-
a lot shorter.
I feel like we were pretty on task until we got to that ice cliff.
That's what we mean.
Yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
the bottom. That was pretty close
The
to
bottom
the top.
of the bottom of the cliff.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, I see what you mean.
Yeah, so we probably spent half an hour just dicking around, and then Josh.
Well, I mean, we were seriously
then
trying
Josh
to get up.
finally used his knife as a.
I mean,
pick
but
to
before
pull
that,
stuff
I mean,
up.
we tried very hard to get up that ice cliff, all of us, and failed for probably about a half hour. Then we tried going around to the other side, and that didn't work out. I mean, you guys almost died. That is another short, brief moment of real danger when you jumped down from that kind of edge that you were on, Levi. And you can I put it in slow motion for the video. You can see your feet hit the ground, and then because you're absorbing the shock, you shift over.
Yeah.
And you're within inches of the edge of what is just a sheer cliff face. And the video definitely did not capture it in a way that makes it
doesn't
look very
It didn't
dangerous.
look quite as steep as it actually.
But
was.
knowing what I knew about that location and how that actually looks in real life, you easily could have just gone over the side.
I bear witness to that. I was there.
Well, you were also the one filming it.
Yeah, so we were both climbing down, and yeah, it's absolutely sheer where he was. And so that was.
That's why I spent 3 million years just sitting up there going, "Oh, no, I don't want to try that." And then finally went.
Yeah.
Well,
But then,
either I die or I don't.
Well, it's like I said on that trip, in that video. If you don't have this fear of death, or you don't have these near-death experiences, are you really living?
that line, Levi, no pain, no fear.
No pain, no fear!
Did that come from him?
No, I'm pretty sure I had watched the Ninja Turtles trailer before that.
Nope.
That's much more disappointing. The new Ninja Turtles?
I don't know, Josh.
And then I was the bitch of that entire side. But usually when we go on those dangerous adventures, I'm usually the first to back the fuck
Dude,
off.
someone-
That means you're
had-
the smartest one.
No,
of
no,
the
no.
group. That's what
Someone
that
had to hold
means.
those dogs, dude.
I did.
Someone had to hold
There
that
was
guy's
that one
dogs.
guy, Jonathan, and
I really wanted to go up.
yeah, he wanted to go up, and
Yeah.
he was climbing, and he literally just dropped the leashes, and the dogs slid down the mountain into my arms, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll wait down here.
That's funny.
That was good.
Dude, I'm so disappointed in that. I still missed you just tumbling down.
Oh.
Not
Like,
Tom, I slid on my
Ethan
ass.
and John and I, we slid a ways, but Josh slid from the very top.
Fucking
It's
Mach
like-
10.
I mean, I said it on. I think I said it. I don't know if it's on video or if I just said it to you in that moment before, after we put the cameras down. But I legit had accepted death in that moment.
Yeah.
I started
And we
thinking
weren't-
about
I don't know.
We
how
weren't
my
even
life
near
had been
a
up to that point.
cliffside.
You didn't. At least you didn't tumble. You just slid.
I did just slide on my ass, but I legit thought it is over for me, or at the very least, my camera is going to die, and I'm gonna be down a couple thousand.
I remember when your ass hit the bottom rock, you like bounce up.
I actually?
Yeah.
And that's all a blur to me.
And then you were like, oh.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You were aching from that one.
I was
All right.
aching, but it didn't like sting in that moment. It hurt a lot afterwards.
So that was some legit danger.
Yeah,
Little
that
bit.
was-
definitely.
Let's go back in time to one of our first adventures, and it was actually just me and Ethan at that point. But if we want to talk some legit danger, that was a stupid thing to do as well. So Ethan and I, there's this mountain right near my family's cabin up in the mountains there, and we climbed, and there's this super nice trail that goes around the base of the mountain and all the way snakes up to the top. And we're like, no, forget that. We're gonna go straight up this sheer rock face.
Oh my goodness.
You guys, I don't know if you guys probably haven't even seen that video. But
I
it's
know, I
like,
totally did.
It's like super long and badly edited, but it's just like.
That's similar to my solo rattlesnake adventure I told you guys about, but never
Yeah,
finished.
where is
making.
that?
It was
when are you gonna make that?
It was Table Mountain, and
No, where is the video? Evidence.
I might not have the footage anymore.
No.
Hold on.
Is it on your phone?
Anyway.
I did. Well, I know I recorded it on my phone, but I think I transferred all the files to my computer, but I think I lost them in a computer wipe.
Anyway.
No.
So I think that adventure. I might just have to do like a story time thing where I tell about
You might
it.
have to
I'm
just do
fine
it
with
again. Just go find the snake. Anyway, me and Ethan, we climbed up this rock face, and there's one section, like it's not terribly dangerous. You can pretty much just scramble up most of the way, and then there's one section where you have to wedge yourself in between these two like sheets of rock, and then reach up and just pull yourself straight up. And if you fall, like there's nothing to hold on to. And there was one point during that where I grabbed onto this like cone of rock, and the entire thing just snapped off and went tumbling down. Analogy for life. You grab onto something thinking it's a solid rock that you can hold on to, and then BAM! It's gone.
Classic.
Oh, dude. Good times.
Fellas, classic.
Nice.
Dude, that's the best picture.
Oh, there's no way it's gonna expose for
Yeah,
it. No,
it might not
I'll
do
just
it.
put it. I'll just put it on the screen. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, so
You got it.
legit danger. What else legit danger do we have?
Ooh, I got one.
Ooh, please.
When we all climbed the Flatirons.
That was pretty good. I don't know if that was too dangerous though.
I mean,
It wasn't steep. Like maybe
well,
you.
it was steep.
You went up the really.
But
You
that was
went up
only
the hard
because
part.
yeah. Here's the thing, Levi. I judged you for filming it the way you did because you filmed at this angle.
Because I was standing on an angle, Josh.
How does that change the way your hands are?
Because I was leaning against the rock face.
So if you're leaning this way, just put your hands like this.
Oh my god, John, I wasn't
But anyway,
thinking about
the
it
point
at the
being,
moment.
he filmed that clip, and I'll put it on screen in a way that makes the hill look less steep than it actually was, and it
Well, why
still
didn't you
looks
just
dangerous.
retilt it in post, Josh?
Because I didn't want to zoom into your 30 pixels, Levi.
Hey, that was your camera.
It's my
I didn't
fault.
even have a camera at that point, so
Yeah.
I was filming on Josh's phone.
Let's talk about the hanging off cliffs addiction.
Oh my god, John. That's probably the most legit danger that any of us has been in. Is when John has this
Uncontrollable
mood that
urge.
comes over him, and he sees a cliff, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna trust my fingers and whatever slippery ass gravelly rock is at the top of there, and he'll just go over and be like, hey Levi, or hey Josh, or whatever. Hey, film me doing this, and then he'll just yeet himself over the side and grab onto whatever he can. So-
It's danger. It must
Okay,
be
so the first-
done.
Levi, I have so much water in my nose. Fuck.
We hiked up what it was north or south Table. I don't remember.
Oh, God.
North, south,
No,
north.
I don't know.
I
I think it was. I think it was.
I
south.
think South was the one I had my rattlesnake adventure on.
I think it was south that we hiked up first. But oh my god, there's this one spot, and it's like, it looks like a huge chunk of rock just like slid down, but there's this big dish-shaped depression, and it's like 100 feet down. So we hiked around to the top, and it's really easy scrambling.
My eyes are watering.
And he just hangs off the side. There's nothing below him. That's like a drop. No big deal.
buddy.
Just 100-foot drop down to nothing.
Yeah, I'm worried about you, John.
And then let's see. Another time he's done this. Ooh, it was on the
Ultimate Vlog 2.
two.
It was
yeah.
on the
So
ultimate
there's
vlog.
like some climbing anchors just on the top of this boulder. It just grabs onto the bolts. Just
Maybe like 2 fingers.
These things are sticking out of the rock by that much. Like it's meant to put a carabiner on to build your anchor with. And the guy just grabs on and hangs off.
All right, John, I'm coming over there. Hold on.
Yo, dude, that ain't safe.
Like grabbing onto a piece with 2 fingers.
Yeah, no, you're just grabbing onto the bolt. It's not like, I don't know, that was probably 30 feet off the ground. Like enough to break your spine if you
easily.
fell. Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's legit danger.
100%.
I love how like
But-
Levi and Ethan will be like, "Hey, let's do this badass dangerous thing," and then John will just be like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm gonna take it even higher."
John was just like,
I know probably the best example of real danger. Speaking of John going off and do things by himself, let's talk about the Ultimate Vlog 1 for a second.
Ooh, throw that.
Let's talk about us being up in
Oh,
a random junkyard that we've never heard of or seen before. And this random, I assume he is an entrepreneur who refurbishes old hotels. But at the time, we didn't know that. All we knew was that there was an old guy huffing up a sled full of junk and wearing some flannel wintry clothes and offered us
flannel's how you know he's a bad guy.
offered us a warm place to hang out and safe haven if we wanted to smoke some 420. And then he went on his merry way and let us know, or at least kind of gave us a vague idea of where to find this place.
Just at the top of the road.
Yeah,
Like, just
which
keep
I mean,
walking up the road.
to be fair, it was one road. It was pretty easy to find it, as we soon found out, because as we're up in the junkyard playing with Levi's rifle, which
Hey,
is probably
you
the
don't
least
play
dangerous
with
thing
rifles.
we've
You
ever
don't play
done.
with rifles.
That's 100% a joke. Don't play with guns. John decides, I'm just going to hoof it up there and find this cabin and hang out with this guy. And he did. He just took his stuff and hoofed it up there on his own. Turns out he was a nice guy, regardless.
And
That was completely random chance that he happened to be a nice guy and not a child.
Hey kids, why don't you come up
And
to my
then
cabin?
so John,
We can
he
hang
hikes
out.
up, he talks to this guy for a bit, and then he hikes down. And at no point during the 2 miles it is down does he think, wow, I feel really light. Maybe I left my entire fucking backpack at the top of the hill in this guy's house.
Yep, so I dragged Josh back up there to go back with me. So I'm like, hey man, you should do this character. He's a really interesting guy.
I mean, he wasn't dead, so I guess that was evidence enough for me to be like, okay. But
I don't
also,
know.
I just didn't want him going up there again on his own.
I don't know why
In the dark, no less.
We still got Kim.
We went up there. We had a very nice chat. He is a nice guy. More power to him for what he's doing. He's making a lot of money doing what he's doing. He's flipping old buildings into like kind of lodge style hotels.
That's what he said, at least.
I mean, it seemed to be true. It did. I mean, that place was under construction. It seemed like he was the brains of the operation.
He also owned like 10 dispensaries. So there's that.
That's what he said, at least.
Yeah, I mean, why would you lie about owning dispensaries? Anyway, regardless.
Because he's a weird ass guy up in the mountains.
You know, he's
What?
gonna
He
see.
probably has some bushes out back that he calls dispensaries.
I'm not going to talk bad about the guy. I'm talking bad about John
I didn't
for
mean-
putting all his trust into someone he'd never met.
I didn't go up there. I thought he seemed like a really cool guy based on the video I saw.
And I stopped to ask him a question that I asked a lot of older people that I admired. What piece of advice would you give a young guy like me, a succinct sentence that you could, just... And he didn't even have to think for a minute. He just said, pay attention.
I mean, that conversation that you saw on video was like the rest of our conversation carried on exactly the same way.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think some of the best parts of the adventures are just the characters met. Like that guy, fucking Jonathan during Ultimate Vlog 2, he was really chill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like anytime you bump into someone else who's just adventuring or doing their own thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That said, don't just go over to strangers' houses.
Yep.
And for these reasons, our video is not made for kids. Anyway,
Wow.
let's shift gears a little bit because we are running a little bit low on time.
All right.
Okay.
Times,
I wanted to talk
times
about
we got in trouble.
Times we got in trouble. Right, we did say that. Times we've gotten in trouble, there aren't that many.
We've
but-
never gotten pulled over, which is
No, that's not true.
Which is a miracle in and of
Because
itself.
when we were going to Oregon to visit you, John,
that's right.
we realized we'd left something in the house, and so we turned around on 57th and parked in front of my house, in front of my front door, the wrong direction on the street. And so I went inside. They left the car running. They were in the car with the car running, and I was running in to grab something. And a cop was like sitting around the corner watching them for the longest time.
Yeah.
I got in the car and we were kind of like chatting about like, well, I mean, we kind of just started talking like, why is that cop sitting there? That's kind of weird. And so we were getting ready to like pull out and leave. And the cop, I mean, he doesn't pull us over, but he just pulls up next to us and is like, you guys can't be here. You're parked the wrong direction. I'm like, officer, this is my house. I was just running in to grab something. We'll be on our way. Please don't give us a ticket, basically. And he's like, all right, warning just this once. But like, what?
But
why?
dude,
Was that necessary?
Still not in trouble, really. Like,
But he was
just,
like-
you just got talked to.
He was like, wait here, and then he goes back to his car.
Oh,
and
he
was
totally, like, scared us,
shitting
yeah.
myself.
He give you a written warning?
No,
No,
No?
nothing like that.
But
He-
yeah,
He was probably just checking all your information and stuff.
yeah.
So
Just
here's-
doing routine checks
Yeah.
for sure.
Okay.
Ooh, this one isn't Advntr Squad. Never mind.
That's okay.
So I feel like the one time we've actually gotten in trouble was just some stupid one-off that we did. We went to the rec center and climbed, and Ethan and I went out to the parking lot, and because we were both good little children of 17 years old, we said, all right, we're gonna call our parents to sign these safety waivers. And we did, and that was fine. But because we were both comedic geniuses, we said, hey, wouldn't it be funny if we said that we were forging the waivers instead?
So let me be clear. This is a skit. You are filming a poorly filmed skit.
And completely unfunny skit that is still a joke. It's a bad one, but bad jokes aren't illegal. But we climbed there, and we climbed like a few more times, and then one day Josh and I went in there to go again, and the guy's like, are you those YouTubers who came in here and we're like, yeah. And he said, you can't climb here anymore, you forged your safety waiver. Now first off, Josh wasn't even there.
Oh yeah. This is the best part. The best part is that the time that they made the skit about not citing the waivers,
Skit.
the
Unfunny joke.
the unfunny joke about not citing their waivers. It was John, Levi, and Ethan. I was not there that day for reasons that I was already salty about because I wanted to be there. Regardless, they were super casual about filming, so I don't think they even really ousted themselves as YouTubers. So it's partially my fault because the next time we came back there and I actually came along, it was the second time that we'd been there, I brought along the DSLR, like the full setup, and made it very obvious that we were YouTubers. So, you know, and
we make YouTube
We make
videos.
YouTube
I don't know if that qualifies us.
Sure.
I
We
put
make
up
YouTube videos.
3 YouTube videos.
We very much played up the personality of YouTubers, though, and we talked to who was our instructor.
You should bleep out his
Oh, I'm
name.
sure I'll bleep it out.
Here's the poetic end to this, because just 2 years later, after we have been banned, I applied for a job there, and I now work at the same climbing.
Oh my god.
I work at the same climbing wall that we all got banned from. So I guess this
Did you meet the guy that like told you can't
No,
be there?
he doesn't work there anymore.
Doesn't work. That would have been poetic.
Probably
Hey,
because
do you
he's
remember-
anti.
One day he's gonna come in there and be like, "What the hell are you doing here?" But that's the end of that. So okay.
Just a random
You're gonna
like.
So
Yeah,
far
my
we've
climbing
never
gym.
we've never gotten in trouble for any of our stupid videos.
Yeah, I guess like the like most minor offense or most minor situation that could possibly describe was your not really your audience at all, but like just some randos that happened upon the video of us climbing the tree with like cheap carabiners. I like wrung us out about how dangerous it was for us to climb.
I've
the tree
taken
with
that video
carabiners.
down since then because yes, it's not a smart thing to do.
Well, whatever.
That's funny.
It was much less dangerous than
And
some
forget
of our
it,
other
it-
antics.
It wasn't about the screw lane. It was more about the rope, which was a static rope also from Home Depot that has like a 300-pound working load, which is just not.
Well,
Maybe I didn't know all this at the time.
Anywho,
I think
more
we should,
legit climbing is coming at some point, and more legit rappelling is coming.
we
at some
should
point.
repel the mine shaft.
We should do it.
And-
Not the mine shaft, but somewhere else.
If you belay me, I will go down there
No.
myself. Because I literally bought all this stuff to do it
Do
already.
you have a rope?
I don't.
So you didn't buy all the stuff you need for
I bought all the GoPro mounts and a GoPro.
So you bought all the stuff that you need to film it.
Yes.
But none of the equipment that you need to actually perform the action.
Correct.
Okay.
Hey, with a bit of spit of gumption, you got it.
So
You can take care of anything.
I will belay you down an actual route with anchors, but I'm not belaying you down a mine shaft.
why not?
Because that's stupid.
I'll use a ladder, but if the ladder goes out, then I'm safe. You know.
Dude, we need like a 400-foot rope. Are you shitting me?
So let's get a 400-foot rope.
Do you understand how expensive a 400-foot climbing rope is?
I'll buy a 400-foot
Oh my
climbing
God.
rope. Anyway,
That's where
I
swimming go. Swimming
I
go.
think we should end this off on one of the more grand examples of just how unpredictable our adventures can be. And the example I'm thinking of is the road trip to Oregon when we visited Levi for the first time.
What about it? There's a lot to unpack there.
That was-
Exactly. Yeah.
I wasn't spontaneous at all, but like
We had been wanting to do it for a long time.
we talked about it before it even left, and I feel like you guys just got it together super quick.
Yeah, we did.
Well, because we just kept saying like we can't do it this weekend, we can't do it next weekend.
Right.
When can we actually do this? And it just like ended up being like almost like the very last weekend that you were even over there.
And we had a 2-day,
A 3-day window. We
3-day
had
window.
we had was it like Friday? No, it was like Saturday, Sunday, and we had to be back on Monday morning for Ethan to get to work
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah.
At Panera Bread. I'll also bleep that out.
Dude,
Actually, I'm not going to bleep that out because you rep Panera Bread
Dude, I wear
more
my-
than anyone
I wear my
else.
Panera Bread.
Why would you need to
time.
bleep that out? It's a friggin' company.
No, yeah, that's
We
Legit.
all know
it
we
was
worked at
Panera-
Panera Bread. We all know it sucked.
Hey, no, Panera Bread was not a bad place to work. I'm not gonna lie.
Ethan
Like,
didn't
it was
like it.
it was boring, but it wasn't like I liked my managers and everything. It wasn't a bad place.
Anyway, about the Oregon trip, where are you going with that?
Well, we had this time frame, right? And we decided, okay, out of all of our cars, let's take the oldest
Which
one.
one should we take? The one that overheats on literally every trip we take with it?
But also to some degree, that car is like part of our brand almost.
It is, and it's very comfortable.
It is comfortable.
It is.
It's got
I
nice
love
sound
John's car.
system ish. It's got really comfortable seating.
Yeah, the seats are.
Can't
what
get up
makes
a snowy hill, but we don't hold that against it.
It's the
Hey, it
meat
was
wheel.
summer. I mean, yeah.
We hold it a little bit
Yeah, it's a
against
front wheel drive. So I mean, come on. But yeah, so as the whole trip kind of progressed, we had many issues, and we had to stop several times in a lot of different places due to overheating issues, or it would bog down, and then we would not be able to proceed. Anytime we'd step on the accelerator, it would like slow down, which is really weird.
But it was like you'd be accelerating at would normally get you to about 60 miles an hour,
Yeah.
and it would start at like maybe 60, 55, and it would slowly dip down to 50, then 40, then 30, and
Yeah.
stop
That
stop about
probably-
25 miles an hour on the highway.
That probably has to do with air intake. You're putting more gasoline than air inside of the motor.
it. Yeah, so it bogs down.
Yeah, so
so
it
that's-
just fucking died.
Believe me, we spent a lot of time trying to diagnose this issue. If you guys, any of you saw the Snapchat stories, and quite a few people did, I saw a pretty good response on those. We were kind of like, I can see who watches the Snapchat story. Anyway, we posted basically like every time that we stopped and tried to figure out what was wrong and buy parts and such.
That's
kind
how
of
I
as an
followed along. 'Cause
ongoing.
You guys wouldn't respond to any of my texts.
Well, yeah, because we were barely getting service. And so, like, we would send a Snapchat out, and it would probably go out about 2 hours after we sent it. And that was, like, basically our only communication while we didn't have any service. It was, like, filming it, putting it up, letting it upload, or try to upload until we hit a spot where we had some spotty service, and it would finish uploading. And that's how we would get, like, a message of, hey, we're still alive, out to the world.
I tell you what, like, solo road tripping has never been my thing, but I swear to God, like, my drive back from Oregon was so nice, and it's because I didn't make myself do it in one day, like you two idiots.
No, that was so bad. I was
How long of a drive is that?
How
It's
many
20
times did I
hours.
offer to drive?
20 hours? The one from Colorado to my place is 13 hours.
Yeah.
Which isn't
Oh,
as bad.
That's shorter than we
Yeah,
were.
yeah.
So the original time that it's supposed to take us. Do you remember?
It was about 22, 24 hours.
So 22, 24 hours.
It ended up being about 26, 28.
Yeah.
Stop.
But because, I was driving for, I think, the majority of the way there.
But yeah, because the car was having trouble, you really weren't wanting to surrender the car because you didn't. We wouldn't have known probably how to deal with it as well as you did. That said, I tried to stay awake with you because Ethan was getting more sleep than I think either of us two was.
Yeah.
So I tried to make sure I was awake to make sure that you were awake.
Dude.
Anyway, that whole thing was a fiasco in and of itself.
It was hilarious, but like they literally got there really late on Friday night, and then we
spent Saturday together.
We spent the night at this guy's house, and this guy is whack. Like the way he runs his business, I guess, is pretty whack. So, like
it's an Airbnb.
He rents out. Business. Yeah, I mean, but most Airbnbs they rent out like one room or a couple rooms of the house. This guy's renting out pretty much every room of the house
and the garage
and the garage and spots in the backyard for camping.
I dig it personally.
I respect the hustle for sure, and he wasn't like he was sketchy about it. He like still checked backgrounds. He still like made sure everyone was okay.
Yeah. No, it was pretty cool. It was like this, just like place for travelers to. It was kind of
dope. Off. And we like met so many cool people just like hanging around the house and talked about
and all of them offered us weed.
All of them, every single one. It's Oregon, man.
No, and he had his own like Uber competitor service.
Oh yeah, well not really a competitor so much as it was, I'll give you a ride in my car for the same rates that an Uber charges.
And it was,
but you don't have to.
We
call
can
me.
include this or not, but it was called Stuber. Don't be stupid with Uber. Take a Stuber because his name was Stuart.
There's no way that was his actual catchphase. Did he actually say that?
It was.
I heard him say that.
I heard him say Stuber, but I didn't hear the catchphrase.
That man is my hero. This is the first time I'm hearing of him.
Hey, he left us a fantastic review, and I think we also left him a 5-star review on Airbnb. So transaction complete, in my opinion. I don't bear any qualms talking about it.
They literally drove in. We spent one day. We went out to Forest Park and hiked around and took some pictures.
We spent some time at the Airbnb on Saturday because we were all kind of tired.
And went out to dinner. And then the next morning, they left.
One day.
We had to drive all the way
And how
back.
much did that trip cost us? Maybe $2,000?
I don't even know
no
if it
way
was
to
that much.
Cost
It was, how much was gas?
Because gas, we spent probably, I think, what did we say, 500?
500.
500 on gas.
Okay, so yeah. Maybe
And that included the burnout that we did with the car absolutely packed full of people and gear in the back. So that was fun.
Yep. So yeah, maybe close to like $750.
You guys need to drive down to my place sometime for some adventuring.
I think we'll fly down to your place, Blake.
Sure, my car will make it.
Yeah, you have fun with that.
We can take my car. Dude, I didn't have to stop a single time on the way back from work.
Either way, there's a surprisingly good number of adventure stuff around me. I'm right by Texoma Lake, which is big, beautiful, awesome. My dad was telling me about these crystal cave mines that are between me and Dallas. I don't know too much about him, but he said that that's actually like apparently a really badass hotspot in the area.
Josh, insert pigeon noises.
There's one more subject I want to touch on before we go. I know we have very limited time now, but something we talked about beforehand. How we got started on YouTube, like how we got into this in the first place, because
Let's go in chronological order here. Which one of you started first?
It was probably me, because 2011. Right.
Well,
I mean,
on YouTube, yes. Filming in general,
no.
I started first.
You definitely started before me. Oh.
I started filming back when cameras used tapes. I still have a whole box full of tapes that
So did I.
8-year-old me filmed.
No,
so did I.
I will corroborate. Yeah, we
5-8-year-old
talked
me
about
filmed.
this. He also used tape cameras and
Yeah.
skits on them back in the day.
All right, sweet.
So you guys are film buddies.
And that video is actually coming out eventually on my channel. The whole evolution of Adventure Pill as we know it, and that is going to include those old tapes
That's sweet.
that we got converted to digital files.
Okay, but getting back to you starting on YouTube though.
Yeah. Right. So I think it really all started when I mean, just without any permission or anything like that, took my mom's phone and YouTube account, made a channel called 334 Bell because that's just a name that my mom used back in the day for usernames and such. Obviously not anymore because it became public, or not public, but like it's out on the internet now.
We all started.
And yeah, all of us started far before we were 13 or 18 years old.
Wow.
I think it's
Not all.
It's
Except for this one.
It's 16, right? When you have to be
16
able
to
to make
have a channel?
to make your own account, or is it 13?
No, it's 13 to make an account.
Okay.
I don't know what it is to upload videos. Regardless, we all, except for him, broke the law. And since I was 11 years old, of course, the things I found funny, burping, Nerf wars, filming our pets, like, you know, the kind of videos that an 11-year-old would make. At the time, I talked about him before, Luke, my best friend at the time, and someone who I grew up with since I first moved to Colorado when I was like 6. So very tight. We lived right next door to each other. We would probably spend more time with each other than we did apart, and just filmed stuff that was going on. Oh, Club Penguin is also a big staple of my channel for some reason. Just filming, like literally filming the screen and making videos, like not even joking.
I did. I can't remember when exactly, but I wanted to start a Minecraft gaming channel.
I think we
totally did.
way back, and
A couple times. Yeah.
I used a screen recorder with the little watermark in the top right corner at 5 frames a second. I think I still have the video somewhere. If you search my old Minecraft username, blockmastar53.
It's amazing.
And it was a 2 frames a second video of me playing Minecraft Hunger Games.
So here you are acting all holy, like, yeah, I didn't break
and
the law.
I said-
didn't start YouTube before I was 13.
I forgot about that. I just remembered it. And I remembered saying, like, in the server chat, like, hey everyone, say hi to YouTube. And that's, like, in the video.
Oh, man.
It was awful. I need to find it and show you guys.
Yes.
I'll upload it to Quality Trash.
Please do.
Yeah.
Insert that, Josh.
That's a treat.
that is quality trash.
Anyway.
It is Quality
And so-
Trash.
That's quality trash. Your brand, honestly, can go places if you just keep that
I know.
as the center.
I know.
100%.
Yeah, let's
100%.
restart this now. Just kidding.
Right now.
We were recording the entire time.
No, it's fine. We can just have the audio from this camera.
Didn't Ethan start?
Well, this one's also recording audio.
No, Josh started a channel for Ethan.
I did
But
start. a channel.
wasn't it, like, started as, like, Halo clips?
Yes, it was, and Ethan was absolutely on board with it at the time. Not anymore, and that's why you just don't see anything on Shinobi Productions anymore. But like, absolutely, on
Ethan
board
has
with
evolved
making-
beyond where we are.
yeah, he's like going to college and
And actually
you know,
doing something
And
with his
taking
life.
care of his life?
Right.
Like, what?
And
The fuck?
I think I'll try and get a hold of the boy before we log off here. But moving on down the timeline, my next channel would be Couple Production, but that channel wouldn't really happen until probably 2016, because, or was it 2013? Let me double check.
I think it was 13. It was 13.
It was 13, and there's a reason that it started the year that it did, because when I was that age, 13, I was very gullible. And YouTube, and specifically Google, loves to do this thing where every April Fool's Day, or it used to, they don't really go as hard as they used to. They would do an April Fool's prank every year, like on a pretty massive scale. Sometimes it'd be like really like silly things like Google Smell was one of the funnier ones. But the year that I started Couple Productions, and I'm pretty sure it was 2013, but I'll probably correct myself. Editing.
Get on with it. Come on.
They announced that the YouTube contest to find the best video in the world, which they were claiming that's all YouTube was ever made to do, was over, and that every video would be deleted off of YouTube come April 1st, 2013.
That's funny.
And I absolutely believed it, and started frantically trying to find a way to download my videos, which at the time, there wasn't a way to do that. Not even YouTube had a function, like YouTube had a weird rule about it where you could download 2 of your videos in a 24-hour period for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was because of the volume of copyrighted content that people were uploading, and then being able to download that was somehow against the law, because even though you were the one who uploaded it, downloading content that didn't belong to you wasn't allowed.
Right.
So you could only download 2 of your videos at a time, and they had to be appealed or something. So I was trying desperately to get all my videos downloaded to my computer because I didn't
know
have
about
copies of them.
Didn't know about YouTube to MP4.com.
I don't think it existed back then. Maybe it did. Or
I think
just
it
didn't know
did
about
because
it.
I remember doing that shit in middle school. Is how I got my music, was going to YouTube, finding the song, and downloading the
But
MP3.
me being so worried and so concerned about like getting all my videos in one place and kind of looking back on what my channel was sort of gave me a bit of perspective where I was like, I kind of want to restart this whole YouTube thing and maybe take it a little more seriously. And that was where Couple Directions was born. But that's in 2013. Before we get there, we have another player coming into the scene in 2012. And I'll let you take that and springboard.
Yeah, so Josh and I met through a mutual friend of ours. And we started hanging out as a group, right?
Right.
And then we eventually had this, we found that we had this common interest in filming, since we were a couple of years ago at that point.
Mm-hmm. It came later? Was it that movie that you wanted to make with the really expensive car? That was like 2016.
Yeah, that was later.
That came later. Okay.
That was a little later. But yeah, so we both had these setups where I think we were both filming on our iPod Touches, and we both were kind of, I don't know, you had more advanced editing software.
I eventually upgraded to PowerDirector 13, which was a Christmas gift from my parents because they saw that I was taking an interest in it and decided to help me out. So I got that on my laptop. It's a pretty ancient software now, but it was pretty, like, for prosumer software is what I would call that. It was all right. It did the job.
I still remember one instance. I think it was when we were filming like Infiltration. What was our Nerf Infiltration, whatever that video was? And you were convinced that the way we were going to film this one scene where I was hacking into a computer was that you were going to add the computer and desk in post. This is the level we were at that point.
Oh my god, a CGI desk and computer to hack on.
That was the idea, because we literally had a tent set up in the snow.
I imagine like him going in paint and like drawing it in frame by frame.
That's probably not too far from the truth. Yeah. I mean, I had also that was when I would play with. I got like a free trial of After Effects and tried tracking some bullet holes onto a door.
See, but I thought Josh was like the coolest video editor in the world at that point.
No way.
Like, dude, I was still using Splice at that point.
Yeah,
Splice and like.
Were you making videos back then?
Yeah, I started like same year that you started a couple of productions.
Right, but I didn't know about it for the longest time.
Yeah, so I was this one stopped. I was using Splice and like this is gonna be fun. and like the YouTube video editor for a while, and literally just filming them on
YouTube.
my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I was filming them on. So my dad upgraded his phone. And I was using like his old iPhone 3, and filming videos, editing them, and uploading them directly from my phone, which actually wasn't a phone because it didn't make calls. It was literally just
like an iPod Touch.
Yeah. So I think then, because that's what also got me interested in that. The fact that we made similar content, or we had the similar interests, at least regarding filming. But yeah, I think you're ahead of editing in a lot of ways from what I was at that time. Like Levi said, I was still using Splice and I was figuring out.
Well, it's also, it's the side of editing that you don't always think about when you think of editing, and that's like actually setting up shots and
Right.
like cutting not just like 3 long shots together to make a video, but instead 10 3-second shots together to make a video.
So we can accept. We all like started at the beginning. We were all making some stuff that was not great, but then something happened here. Because Josh continued to make these like really editing intensive videos. We did some shorts. I remember one night what were we? It's like 20 degrees outside, and we had built this set. He had gotten our friend Jeremy to build this set.
Oh, this is much later down the road.
Yeah. So we're gonna skip a little bit because like honestly, I don't know if we need to talk about all of our older stuff.
Well, I wanted to go over Couple Directions just a little bit because it had a special place in my heart. I think anyone who watched when I released a video before I took down all of my couple of productions videos. I released one called Goodbye Couple of Productions, and it's probably the last time I would ever cry on camera and include it in a video. I don't even think I don't have any footage of me crying, period, on that video. But it was just me saying it's time for me to move on and do something a little bit different, branching away from Nerf wars to more actual like short films content, because that's what I wanted to do. But still grateful for all the things that I learned and the knowledge that I gained from not only making videos but watching lots of videos. I consumed YouTube maybe 100 times more than I even posted on YouTube. Just so many creators, especially shout out to CA Cox 97, who was a huge influence in my filmmaking career and really was what got me started. And then also a huge shout out to Levi here for always being super encouraging and like down to film stuff. I think between the two of them, if it were not for one or both of them, I probably wouldn't be doing what I'm doing today. So
it's pretty sweet because he now works as like hold on, Josh, put up your professional ad that you just created.
Sure, yeah, I'll put some, I created an advertisement for a company called Madeira Outdoor, who sells hammocks and other outdoor gear, just kind of with footage that he filmed. So I didn't film any of it, but he just dumped all that footage onto a drive, and I worked with it and created a couple of different advertisements, a longer one and then a few short form ones for like social media.
Which is super cool, considering like you started just editing on Splice and then throughout the years have now managed to start making money off of it.
Yeah. And then you started your channel, 2013? So around the same time that I started Couple of Productions.
Yeah.
John, you started rebranding from Gamasami to Adventure Pill in what year?
I would think that's more like 2016.
Okay, and so in 2016 is around the time where we get to probably the end of Couple of Productions. It's probably around the time where you started really pursuing the Alvin Archer as your brand.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, like I was doing that. There was a very short period when I was like really into it, and it was because I hated high school so much. Like literally, I would go out on the weekend. It was like the thing that I did to just decompress from the week. Like, no matter how crappy the videos are, like I look back on it, they're not good. But it was like something I just did, and it was a time when I was like really having fun with it. And I think I started doing it mostly just because you were doing it, and we were 14, and we're like, we're gonna make it big as YouTube. This has stopped going now.
Oh my gosh.
And we're like, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be big YouTubers. This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna be big YouTubers. And I only did it because you. And then like there was this period of time where I realized, hey, whether this goes anywhere or not, it's just fun to do. And that's where it's continued up to.
Nice. I'm glad. I mean, it's a testament to the fact that you have now amassed hundreds times more subscribers than I have in my entire career.
And still have no money to show for it.
And still have $100 of AdSense to show for it, which is more than any of us have made off of our YouTube channels.
Yep.
I still haven't bought a microphone with that, which is the plan.
Well, yeah, I think on that note, we'll call it.
Hold up. We need one more thing to be mentioned. So, John, a lot of the videos, if you go back on his channel, are like cool things that he's done, but not great quality. And this man gets a camera and an editing software, and in like a month goes from so very little editing experience to putting this together. Josh, put this on the screen. All right, John, I'm gonna learn you something.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
This amazing cinematic sequence goes from like 0 to that in no time flat.
In 10 weeks.
My God.
And you can literally watch each week as he improves in one small way or another over the course of 10 weeks, one video a week. And it's amazing to watch that progress.
The improvement that's been shown is awesome.
Yeah. A clap to you as well, sir,
Clap
because
and a half.
you have truly like transcended any amount of growth that I would have expected from anyone else. But because it's you, it makes a lot of sense. So hats off to you, man. You have truly, you've truly outdone yourself.
His olive complexion stops him from getting super beet red, but
Yeah. Well, you guys have all inspired me to, achieve different editing, sequences and styles and processes. Josh, you're always, it seems, on the leading edge of that sort of stuff, and I like to implement that stuff. So I appreciate you being with me from a very early age.
Yeah, it's
And
crazy.
likewise, Levi, when I met you, that's what I was like.
that was way back on. For what video was that? When we were okay. Here's the thing. During a couple of productions, Josh, while he may not have created videos that were amazing, he did do something even more incredible, which is every time he tried to get us together, he changed the weather. Because every time that he would call all of us
I wasn't
up,
sure where this
it
was
would
going.
immediately start snowing.
So
Every time. Dude, literally, I was in Florida one time and he called everyone up and said, hey, I want to film a video next weekend. Are you all down? And there was a huge snowstorm and I got stuck in Florida. And I still blame him for that.
that's funny.
Yeah, it was truly incredible just how many times we wanted to film and
Every
a
single
blizzard
time.
would just make its way to us. But what was even more incredible, I think, was that I think that in a funny way is what brought everyone that I know now together. Because through growing up and like just getting together to do these videos, that was kind of my way of when I wanted to hang out with a large group. That was my excuse to do it, was let's make a video.
Yeah.
And so anytime like I wanted to include a new person into my group of friends, I would say, hey, we make these silly, stupid videos together. Do you want to come do one with us? And that was how I introduced you two, I assume.
Yeah. And that's how
You
And that's how we
pulled
met
me
Ethan.
in with FYI I'm a spy. That was after the mining adventure.
Yeah, P.S. I'm a
Dude,
secret
that's
agent.
how
Or P.S. I'm a secret
That's
agent.
how Ethan and I got
FYI, I'm a
introduced too.
spy is probably a better name. Honestly.
Dude, that's how. So you were filming something for church, and Ethan was there as he was running the camera, and you invited me over as well. That's how I met Ethan, and then for the infiltration, that's how I met you, and then with the mine shaft, that's how Blake and I met. So
Yeah,
literally,
that's
like
so funny.
that's how our group of friends has gotten together over
Yeah,
there.
let's make some stupid videos.
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're best friends now.
Right. Dude,
I,
just like,
damn it.
And speaking of friends, there was one thing I wanted to do, and that's and this may not work, but I'm gonna call Ethan
Oh god.
and see if we can get him to give
there's
just
a
some
hole.
closing
There's a
thoughts.
hole right here.
No.
Oh.
Well, that's the end of that.
We're moving the podcast to Golden?
No.
Boulder.
Boulder.
Let's. What? Is his phone off?
Yeah, it went straight to voicemail.
Well,
Maybe it has it on.
What about Discord? You
Yeah,
think
check
he-
it. Yeah, let's
you
try his
think-
Discord.
You think he's on
Let's see if he's on Discord. right now.
Halo or something?
Yeah.
Alright, this is Operation Contact Ethan. He's offline.
Dang. Well, I will make Ethan film something on his phone, just giving some closing thoughts on how this all kind of went down, how we got into Shinobi Productions, and how we quickly got out of it, and then, and I think that'll be pretty much it. Any closing thoughts, guys? Kind of wrapping up the night.
John, get some shots down. Let's go to future. I'm kidding. To future adventures.
I know it may seem like it, but I'm not done with quality trash.
I believe you.
It's just
I see you doing really awesome things with that when you actually get time. You are doing school and a full-time job. I assume it's a full-time job.
Part-time.
Part-time, but still.
But still, that all adds up.
yeah, easily. And
solid amount of time.
you know, I'm working full-time now, so videos have become a lot more scarce. You're working how many jobs?
4.
A lot more jobs. And John here is also working, but he seems to make time to do one video a week. So if there's anyone you subscribe to after watching this video, it's definitely Mr. Adventure Pill over here, who is getting on that weekly grind
Don't forget
every
to
single
take
week.
yours.
Don't forget to take your Adventure Pill.
Did you respond to me?
And then in like a month, maybe there will be a new video on Joshuography. In a year, maybe we'll see something on the Advntr, and in the next decade, hopefully we will see something on
if
Quality
we're talking
Trash.
about upload schedule here, you're the year. All right.
All right.
Let's be real.
That'll be the next decade, the end of the.
And just don't expect any new videos from Ethan at all. if something is uploaded to his channel, it was because I did it.
Yeah, at the end of the next.
He isn't
decade,
a degenerate like us.
No.
It'll be like week 520.
Well, he does want to start his art brand, and so we talked about repurposing his channel for that, since he has at least like
Dude,
a
Ethan's
base.
art is I love his art style.
I would
He's
love.
doing coding now. Guy's crazy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he's
he's
been pursuing the video game thing forever, but the art is sort of a side product of that because he wants to do art in video games.
Yeah.
And his art's amazing.
Yeah, he's really good.
Yeah.
I really want to talk to him about selling like stickers because he really loves buying stickers from artists, and I think his art will be perfect for it.
No,
so
it totally would.
that is something that may or may not end up on the Advntr Gear store at some point in time.
We'll pester him until he does it.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, I think that's about it for this podcast. It was great having most of the Advntr Squad here. So
4/5 ain't bad.
Yeah,
4 to 5,
80%.
8, that's passing.
And if
Yeah.
anyone is just
In the American
listening to
education system, that is passing.
It's
You
not a
wouldn't
B
get
or a
kicked
C.
out of. You wouldn't get kicked out of honors or anything.
No, your parents might be a little disappointed, but you know what?
Hey, D's for
Welcome to the
diploma,
group.
guys.
All right, folks. Well, that's all for this episode.
Do we have a name for this? Because I would love to do this again.
Yeah. I think this.
us talking about
Once you
some
edit
stuff.
this.
Thank you guys for watching. For those of us who stick with us, especially to Levi's subscriber base who may or may not be here right now. Thank you guys for supporting Levi and what he's doing. And then for like the other kind of couple hundred of you who watch the rest of us, thank you guys for sticking around. We hope to see more of you in the next decade of hopefully more videos and more adventures.
No. Oh, Ethan.
And thank
Come
you.
on.
Oh.
Ethan, answer the phone.
Hello?
Quiet boy.
What's poppin'?
It's quiet hours in the door. What's up?
Fuck 'em, we're making a video.
That's why we've been bombarding you.
Yeah.
Ethan, I just would like to hear at least just a 10-second synopsis of what you thought of the last decade.
That's about 10 seconds.
All right. I don't know what more we expect.
Very astute. Thank you for your thoughts. We're using the camera here.
I can probably do a better one later, but yes.
No, yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna tie you up and make you make
Love you,
like a
man.
little-
See you next.
Alright, love you.
Yeah, it sucks I couldn't see
See you
you this
soon.
time, my guy.
But we
Yeah,
love
it's
you.
a shame, man, but I'm glad you guys are having fun.
Yeah, it's been a blast.
For sure, man. Alright, I'm gonna get back to the movie. I'll see y'all later, alright?
Alright, have fun.
You guys have a good night.
You
Peace
too.
out. Thank you guys for watching. Share, not this video probably, but share one of our more exciting videos with your friends. I'll make some suggestions right here. And we will see you in the next decade of the 2020s.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Cool.
The Roaring
Thanks for
20s
subscribing, Mom.
The Roaring 20s too.
All right, let's go through the outros and we'll
Electric
shut it
Boogaloo.
off. Starting with...
I don't have an outro. That was my outro. Thanks for subscribing, Mom. That's my new outro.
And I'm the Joshuographer, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.
And don't forget to take your adventure pill.
And this is Advntr doing goodbye stuff.
I hate
All right.
Doing goodbye stuff.
I'm the Advntr, and that's all I have for you today, guys. See you next time.
Archer out.
Archer out. You gotta
Archer
tip the
out.
hat.
I was like,
Tip your hat. You're even wearing a
Archer
hat.
out. All right.
Archer out.
Let that arrow fly.
All
Gay.
What's the thing Ethan always says? Archer, whatever.
Bazinga.
I'm not gonna include that, right?